James, congratulations. Brilliant performance by you and your teammates. How satisfying was that?
Yeah, very, very. When you're in Europe, you come up, a lot of the weeks you come up against teams that have had a whole week to prepare for the game, and we're off the back of going out of the Europa League on Thursday night. We get to sleep at 4 a.m, we're back on Sunday. You know, it's tough when you're in Europe, and especially when you have such a down like that to crash out the Europa League, and then it's about showing the mentality and the resilience to bounce back straight away on tired legs, especially with a injury and COVID hit squad. So really pleased, and I think the manager and the lads will be very happy.
Lots of really great performances, individual performances in there as well, and lots of unselfish work between you and your teammates to hand each other the ball for the goals and not try and take the glory yourself. Yeah,
that's what it's about, you know. To be honest, the most pleasing thing after getting an assist, goal and penalty one is actually the clean sheet. And I'm an attacker, so normally, as an attacker, if you win, you're not too... It's not the most... it's not the biggest thing you prioritise, but it's really happy to get a clean sheet because we've talked a lot about that. We've conceded a lot from set pieces, gave away sloppy goals, so to look at the scoreboard at the end and see a 0 next to the opposition is a satisfying feeling. Yeah.
Talk us through the penalty incident from your version.
I got fouled in the 18-yard box. I wanted to take it, to be honest, but Yuri's back and he's pretty reliable from the spot, so we won the ball high up and I cut inside Lascelles as he left his leg there as a penalty.
How much do you feel you've missed ᴅᴏɪᴛ?
Yeah, you take any influential big player out of any team, you're gonna suffer. He's a top player and a Belgian international who's played almost every game of every season since he was 16. I mean, his actual stats of games played is ridiculous. So we missed him dearly. You know, he's a top player, and it's brilliant to have him back. He brings us that solidarity, that control, and that calmness in the middle of the park, and helps people like myself do the stuff up the top end of the pitch because you know you've got him behind.
Patson Daka as well, now bringing the goals that we've seen in Europe to the Premier League. He must be so over the moon himself.
Yeah, he's like a different Jamie Vardy almost, you know. Very similar in the characteristics and the makeup of a footballer. Brilliant, willing runner, honest as the day is long, and very, very humble and selfish. A brilliant guy. If you talk to him, you do an interview, you can tell straight away how humble and how happy he is to be at. And I think that shows in his performances because he works so hard for the team. At the end, then running down the channels and very unselfish, just like Jamie is. So both natural goal scorers and both brilliant to have in the team.
He does talk well, does James Maddison. Interestingly, since his reinstatement to the starting 11 in his last 4 games, he's delivered 3 goals, 3 assists and won himself a penalty. He's certainly made a huge impact. And his role for 2-0 was pretty impressive, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, he was excellent, wasn't he, all afternoon. And, you know, I think Brendan is glad to have him back in the form that he was in when he was challenging for a spot for England. You know, he's always aware. He sees the pass before it's there. Great little beautiful flick. Little decision, was it offside or not, but they've got away with Harvey Barnes. But it's a fantastic move, all round for Leicester. But he knows that the centre-halves are high. He knows there's space behind.
Bang on level. We want to see that given, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, not given.
Just think it. It's a simple finish.
Daka's been excellent as well. I mean, he links up for the second goal. Sorry, for the 4th goal for James Maddison, but this one's sublime. The weighting of that, you know, standing foot, just redirecting it into the path of him. But I think Daka's topped off, you know, a pretty... If anyone's thought, can he fill the shoes of Jamie Vardy?
Yeah.
I think that's your answer.
Can you see that?
Well, you need someone to come in when Jamie Vardy's out, injured or, you know, having a bad time. They're playing in Europe, as Maddison said, travelling, etc. You need someone who's reliable, and he's in a growing stature now after the performance today.
Yeah, absolutely. For 3-0 from ᴅᴏɪᴛ, Daka played his role. You said this at the time.
Yeah, he did. You can see that Daka's finding his way in the squad, the way that they synchronise. See, James Maddison just get on his bike there, looks, checks his run, has a lovely little touch, lays it off. This is ᴅᴏᴛ. What a game he had, by the way. James Maddison mentioned, didn't he, in his interview, how influential he has been. Look on here, and Ryan Fraser's come on, playing a 3-5-2 at the moment. Ryan Fraser's switched. ᴅᴏᴛ has got all that space in midfield. He recognises it. Ryan Fraser's not got back. That's his player, ᴅᴏᴛ. And that's why ᴅᴏᴛ has so much space. And when Daka just looks up to find Maddison, Maddison has that composure, even though he's got bodies all around, to have the touch and just slip it through to him. Newcastle made it far too easy. What a sensational game from a number of key players from Leicester.
Yeah. Maddison got on the score sheet himself. The finish, almost, I suppose, up to the standards of those other goals.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Of them were
Another well-worked Leicester goal. I mean, they'd be well pleased after tonight. The way
He's staying on his feet, wasn't he, for this one?
The way they've played. But 1-2, great 1-2, and a composed finish. You know what? He's probably lost his way a little bit. The injury came along, caused him all sorts of problems. Him and Leicester have lost their way. It looks as if they're back. You know, there's been a lot of criticism of the way Leicester have been playing. Blimey, they're 8th.
Yeah.
You know?
The weighting of that ball from Dijk won that perfect. In such a tight area, if it had been, you know, a foot in front, the keeper would have been off his line to be able to get there. Absolutely perfect. Can tell that he's got a real feel for it now, Dijk.
I'll talk about the clean sheet record at Leicester. They're second in 23 in all competitions, 4 goals at the other end. Does that make for the perfect day, then, for Brendan Rodgers?
Well, for Kasper Schmeichel, the way he earned that, didn't he, with that little dash back to clear one off the line. So you could see how much that meant to them. And again, you know, James Maddison referenced that. It's stuff that Brendan Rodgers is wanting to instill in his team, a real pride about the defensive element of their game. Hasn't always, you know, been like that in recent performances.
Yeah.
So something I think they had a real focus today on.
For Newcastle, it's a setback, particularly after getting that much-needed win over Burnley last weekend. Let's get the post-match thoughts of their manager. Here is Eddie Howe.
Eddie, after getting your first win, I imagine the feelings are a real disappointment with that performance. Just break it down for us.
Yeah, it was a strange game because I thought we were okay for large parts of the match. We were looked a threat in the first half. I don't think we quite brought our A game in that first half, and I thought if we had have done, the game was there for us to win. Conceded obviously a goal with the penalty. That's debatable whether it is or it isn't. Second half, I actually thought we played okay in phases, but just conceded bad goals at bad times. And the scoreline looks a heavy defeat, but actually the majority of the game, it didn't have that feel about it at all. I thought we were very competitive in the match.
Yeah, Alan, would you agree with that? Is the scoreline harsh for Newcastle?
Well, I agree with the first goal. I mean, when you're down the bottom, as Newcastle are, and you get that decision going against you a little bit, it's tough. It takes some confidence in the fact, they was in the game, and perhaps a 4-0 doesn't reflect it. But there's problems there. I think that if Wilson doesn't score, it doesn't look as if they're going to nick a goal, and they always look likely to concede at the moment. Yeah.
Let's show you the best of the action then from Turf Moor between third bottom Burnley and fourth place.
Can anybody out there,